I know. Kool-Aid
Church.
Episode 2. We got topics.
We got
stories.
themes to the topic.
Themes to topics.
Isn't that the same thing?
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like we're supposed to be hyping this up. We got
That's fair.
themes. We're going to talk about Mandelas.
Things you thought you see, but you didn't. You thought you did. You thought you saw, you didn't, but you think you did.
That's the Mandela. Yeah, we're going to do that.
I'm ready.
Run our theme song.
Let's go.
Yeah!
The main distraction parked in the lot. Two dudes with beards and some thoughts they just caught. A squirrel or donuts or why clouds look tall. Their cars, their studio, they cover it all. Banter so wild it'll make you grin. Two bearded besties, where do we begin? The main distraction, tune in for the ride. Talking about nothing yet so bona fide.
Let's talk nicknames.
Nicknames.
Everybody should have one.
Yeah.
Can you? Okay. Simple rule or simple question.
Yeah.
Can you give yourself your nickname?
Is a nickname given or is it earned?
I feel like that's the same thing.
Again, backwards. Language.
So we've established this. Okay, so I think it's either you either give one to yourself, or it's given to you. I think a nickname has to be given to you.
The name Church, taken upon myself. So it was kind of given to me, but not really. I kind of ran with it. Okay. Right. So many people don't know is I used to be a worship leader at a church. And you may be wondering, church, how did you become a worship leader at a church, being church? Anyway, so the story goes is, like I was in a band. I started up a band, right? And I was going to be a famous rock star. I was going to kill it out in the world. So me and my band, we went to Ottawa because Ottawa...
Is it Nashville, Canada?
Like Ottawa's where rock stars go to be rock stars.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay. I believed it for a second.
That's not the case.
Okay.
As you can see, I'm not in my private jet right now.
That's fair.
Right. So we go to Ottawa. We were poor. We were playing in some friggin' bars. Like it wasn't doing. It was okay, but we weren't getting paid for this, right? Like we weren't doing well. So this Ethiopian church reached out because I had a bunch of ads and all that. They're like, "Hey, can you?"
Ethiopian church?
An Ethiopian church? That's a thing.
I'm not judging. I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't either at the time. Let me tell you, right? But so this church reached out and was like, "Hey, do you want to play in our worship team? Play the songs." Right. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds fine. We're not religious at all. Like, that's not a thing. Okay. Right. Yeah. So, and they're like, yeah, we don't care. Do you like money? And I'm like, yes. So we were going from Mr. Noodles up to now KD, Kraft Dinner, macaroni and cheese. It was a good upgrade. Kool-Aid.
I would take it.
It was a good upgrade. Right. So we did this for a couple months. Some of my bandmates left. They went out and made it into the world, or at least tried to. Started their own thing, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, they're killing it.
You got left behind?
No, I was still at the church. So I was giving her.
That's fair. Okay.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take my $200.
What's the Ethiopian currency? Did you get paid in that, or did you get paid in Canadian?
No, we got paid.
I'm just saying, like maybe there was like an opportunity to maybe like get a little more than the 200.
No, they didn't pay me in trout. Like they didn't like here. So I did that for a couple of months, and right. Wouldn't you believe I got scalped from another church? Yeah, you make me question myself now. Now I feel bad for trying to use the big words.
No. But what is the word that they use?
Poach.
Like the egg.
That's the rewrite that.
Not the egg.
Another church came and poached
Another
me.
Church came to poach you.
To poach me. I got poached by a church. Poached and scalped.
What kind of church was this one?
So this was a Free Methodist church.
So it's substantially different. I'm not overly religious.
You know what? That's fair. I don't know the difference myself.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so
Right.
you're right.
Like
So
one was Ethiopian
you're moving on up
and the other was free.
from KD to where'd you go then?
Yeah, okay. So I got post scalped to this other church. And they're like, yeah, we want you to be a worship leader. I'm like, again, I'm not religious in any form, but I will play the song. and we did, right? And it turns out I kind of liked it, you know? So actually became kind of a pillar within the church itself.
Is that 'cause you're tall?
Well, I am tall. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a thing. And they started like paying me like staff. I was like
Nice.
you know, like a full-time job, right? So
Very cool.
I'd be doing like one thing, you know, you know, just not just on like Sundays, but also like I teach kids on Wednesdays how to do this, and you know, just helped out with the community as I
Super
did.
involved.
Yeah,
That's what I like
just
about you.
involved.
You're a stand-up guy.
I try, you know.
Same guy named Church.
Yeah, church. Okay. Oh, okay. So here's where it transitions. Okay, like here's the thing, right?
We got him there.
My friend. So I ended up. I think I ended up leaving the church at the time and started bouncing. Right. So so I became a bouncer. They're like, oh, what'd you do? Oh, you know, I was a worship leader. I was this, blah, 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 right? So they're like, oh, you're that church guy. I got referred to all the time. Like, you're that church guy.
That guy from the church.
Yeah.
That church guy.
Yeah, you're that church guy.
Here we are. We have circled back around.
We have circled
back around.
We have circled back to, hey, Kool-Aid, where did you get what's your origin story? Where did the name
So mine
Kool-Aid
was also from a religion.
Right.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. That's Kool-Aid in a religion is not a place you want to go.
Yeah.
So I did bounce as well.
Yeah.
I actually went to back it up a little bit, I actually went to bartending school.
Oh.
Yeah.
Excuse
and
me.
I'm a flair bartender. I was wide certified.
A mixologist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But yeah, but literally flair bartending. I actually have 2 of the flair bottles that you flip around and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's called a flair.
It's yeah, because you're serving alcohol with flair.
Oh, that's not where I thought that was going.
Yeah, it was a different time.
I thought, and I was like flair, like as you now that I think about it, that makes more sense. All right, carry on. You flair bartender.
So I went to this one nightclub,
right?
And I went in to be a bartender. He's like, we don't hire men as bartenders.
That makes sense.
And it was valid. But he said, have you ever bounced before? I said, no. He said, well, do you know a lot of people? I said, I do know a lot of people. I love to network. I'm a social butterfly.
You are a social butterfly. That is true.
And I said, no. I said, but I do know a lot of people here. He goes, well, you'd have to be able to like cut that off. If there's something going on in my bar, you need. I said, so my line to him, I didn't have a resume or anything. I just walked in one day after another job. And I said, well, I don't care if it's your club or not. I said, if you're causing a problem, I'll kick you out. He goes, I like the way you answered.
That's fair.
Come in Friday. So I became a bouncer. My name, Chris Cherry. Anybody who sees me on social media, you'll see my name is Chris Cherry Kool-Aid. People think that I just love Cherry Kool-Aid. With that, I absolutely do. It's not just a nickname. It's a lifestyle. It's delicious.
It is delicious.
But it just happened to be my last name as well. So Cherry Kool-Aid just seems to fit. I went and got the tattoo of the cherry, the Kool-Aid guy and everything.
Yeah. So you actually do like Cherry Kool-Aid.
Love it.
Your last name happens to be Cherry.
I love everything cherry.
And now we have Cherry Kool-Aid.
So the way we got it though is I was so at the club it was always really busy, always really full of people, and I used to stand up on the speaker on the dance floor.
Yeah.
So when I got down, there was a fight that broke out. I looked like Kool-Aid guy busted through a wall of people, like we're trying to get everybody out of the way, and that was it. When I used to walk down the street towards them, my guys would be outside and like, oh yeah, and they would yell it back. And so it was an easy thing to yell. So and then at the time I grew up, I was born in '84. I grew up a '90s kid,
right?
And very urban, very hip hop. So everything I wore, I matched. It was a time when like Mitchell and Ness jerseys. So my jersey was red, my hat was red, my watch was red, my shoes were red.
Yeah.
I just looked like one big jug of Kool-Aid.
One
So
jug
there's so
of
many different
Kool-Aid.
there's so many different things that just made sense.
Right.
So they said they called me Kool-Aid, and that's where that came from.
You know, like I like that story.
It was, you know what? It's
Like
it's heartwarming.
you dressed in red, bursting through. Oh yeah, like running through crowds.
Absolutely.
I
So
love that.
it just made sense, and it stuck. Another quick little thing.
Right.
So we get paid cash. That's how we got paid.
Right.
And then a couple years later, the owner calls me downstairs. What's so funny?
Because I know you're gonna have to reshoot
Here's
all
the thing.
this.
They don't know that. I'm cutting it out. So what are you laughing
You're
at,
cutting
church?
it all. I know you are.
The boss calls me downstairs into the office. He goes, "We need to have a talk." I'm like,
Right.
"That's never good. That's never good."
That is never good.
So he goes, "So we have to start paying you guys by check. We got to do things a little more,
Legit.
on the books."
Yeah. Right.
It's not like it wasn't, but they came up with rules that you had to be like certified as security and all that kind of stuff
Yeah,
moving
yeah,
forward.
yeah.
So I'm like, "Okay, cool. Then what's the problem?" He goes, "What's your name?" I'm like, "Pardon me?" I said, "Bro, I've worked in your establishment every weekend for like 2 years.
2 years.
And you don't know my name?" He's like, "Listen," he's like, "I only know you as Kool-Aid. That's what everybody calls you." He's like, "So just answer the damn question so you can get paid. Or not.
that's
It doesn't
funny.
matter." So I had to tell him my name. I'm like, "I've known you for 2 years."
Yeah. Like, did he believe you when you said cherry in there?
He absolutely was like, "I see that now. That makes sense."
That does
I'm
make
like,
sense.
"But you've never asked." The only I would tell you though, people call me Kool-Aid
Right.
all the time. It's strange when someone calls me Chris.
Yeah. I don't like it.
People people have voiced their opinion on that. They're like, that sounds weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, we have people, like, in our friend groups or whatever, they were like, "Hey, Chris." I'm like, "Who the is Chris?"
It's Chris. I don't know that guy. I know a Kool-Aid, but I
Yeah.
don't know Chris.
Yeah. I know a Kool-Aid all day, but I do not know a
But
Chrissy Poo.
But I would think that if it wasn't for social media and me putting my name on
Yeah.
this was all before Facebook, like we were on MySpace when I was still like bouncing, I think. So before Facebook, Instagram, all those things where you want to brand yourself and all that kind of,
Yeah.
people would not have known my name.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I would just be known as Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Like, I never had a MySpace. I was
Too young.
I was
He's
learning
younger.
how to ride a bike, I
Wow.
think, around then.
Rub it in.
Like, for your job,
Yes.
like, you kind of actually want to go by your name, like, not only for networking, social media, and all that,
Nowadays, yes.
because, like, you just naturally, because you want to get your name out there.
I mean, Kool-Aid's a brand.
Your Kool-Aid is a brand,
Kool-Aid's a brand. So
a
you
trademark
can't-
brand. Yeah.
That's the thing.
So you just can't go by Kool-Aid. Yeah, that's probably frowned upon. I'm not sure who would get angry over that. I'm thinking Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
what do they know?
That's what I'm
They're
saying.
just a multi-billion-dollar brand.
Yeah,
Kraft.
right?
Listen, you want the
Kraft.
real Kool-Aid? but
That's a great name, though.
well, thank you. I
Yeah.
do like it, and I get compliments on it all the time.
Yeah, like, as you should.
Little side thing here.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, we were almost the Cherry Kool-Aid or the Kool-Aid Church podcast.
Yeah.
That was gonna be a problem, wasn't it?
Yeah. So we talked about this. I'm like, how about we go church Kool-Aid? And that brought up some red flags. You know?
The idea of Kool-Aid and religion being brought up together was
Yeah.
But I would like to just say I feel like we're changing history. I
Right.
feel like by the time more people watch this podcast, that is going to be such a normal thing that the other stuff that no one ever talks about anymore doesn't even matter.
Yeah. We're gonna start the new trend
Yeah.
in the
Where Kool-Aid in church is just is a heartwarming family home Sunday night after dinner name.
After dinner name. The church Kool-Aid.
We'll work on it.
Yeah.
But now we're the
main distraction. So you asked me on our last episode what that means to me.
yeah.
So now it's your turn.
What does it mean to me?
Yeah.
So to me, the main distraction Mane, obviously because we are two bearded gentlemen.
Yeah.
But to me, even in the MAIN, the main distraction is the whole idea that there's a lot of things going on in the world right now that nobody really wants to hear about. It's really negative, so on and so
Right.
forth. So to me, listening to us, or at least we hope, is going to be a part where you sit back and enjoy, you forget about everything else going on, and you just have some fun. So we are the main distraction.
Right.
It's keeping you away from everything else. So whether you're watching us right now on YouTube,
Right. You do. Or Spotify.
which,
Yeah.
as you guys know, if you've watched already, if you watched episode 1, we are live on both.
We are live on both. We have a Spotify now.
We do.
Isn't that cool?
It absolutely is.
It makes it feel more real,
It does.
you know?
When I can hear my voice on another platform that's just not my recording,
Yeah.
yeah, it's legit.
Yeah. No, I'm excited.
We're taking sponsor deals as we speak.
We are taking sponsored deals.
There's a big long list of them.
There is.
There's not a link. There's not a big list.
No. We got like one?
Nothing we can tell them.
Oh, right.
We can make one.
Yeah. Like, is this
So there's a huge list,
Yeah.
like we said, a huge list of
huge
sponsors.
list of sponsors.
We're ready
Yeah.
for more.
Now I'm excited. Like, I think our next episode, we're sponsor spot right
Yeah.
there.
And one thing we found in common was bouncing.
Bouncing.
Segue into the other topic we want to talk about.
I love a good segue.
Bouncing stories.
I love a good. Have you ever? Like, just speaking of segues, like, have you ever ridden?
No.
I feel like I would not do well.
I feel like the next step, listen, if Segway is listening and you guys want us to do an episode on a couple Segways as we ride around the park here, we will
Yeah.
absolutely think about doing that.
Yeah, apparently anyone can do it.
Except for the owner. He can't anymore.
What?
The owner of Segway died riding a Segway off a cliff.
No.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Absolutely. You can Google it sometime.
That's actually
Isn't that weird?
weird. Is the word
You know
we're
what it's
going
not?
with?
You know what it's not? It's not a Mandela effect. It actually happened. Foreshadowing.
Yeah, coming soon. All right.
To a sock near you.
Okay, bouncing stories. All right. So being a bouncer is a hard job.
Yeah.
Like, it's not an easy thing, right? Like, I find
It's hard if you're doing it right. It's easy if you're a jack
okay.
and you want to just be violent with people.
Okay.
Then it's easy to just
Yeah.
be aggressive.
Yeah.
But no, I think good people.
Yeah, like, I think good, like, there's good bouncers and there's bad bouncers for sure.
Mhm.
So I would say a bad bouncer, you see those guys, they're all jacked up, they got the sleeves rolled up, right? Like, they're
Is
just,
this Grease Lightning?
because I love that song, right? like, it looks like they're looking for trouble, right? Like, it looks like they're trying to start things they may or may not cannot finish. So I also think too, when it comes with bouncers, so there's all different shapes and sizes of just people.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that there's different shapes and sizes
That's fair.
of people. All right. You got the big bouncer.
Yeah.
You got the small bouncer. Personally, I don't think bouncers should be small, and not for the reason you're thinking, right? It's like, I think, like, no one would screw around with Bruce Lee,
No.
but everyone knows it's Bruce Lee. So unless you know that it's Bruce Lee, you have a smaller guy, and that's just a liability.
You know what used to bug me though? I don't mean to cut you off. I absolutely do because I just do it all the time.
Yeah.
You know what used to bug me?
Yeah.
If we're talking about stories,
Sure.
let's throw one in there. The small people who came in and always sized you up. They're looking at they have their arms crossed. They're standing there with their friend. They're like, "Hey, I can take you."
Oh, I hated that.
But then
so
people are
much.
like, "Well, it's like a David and Goliath. You can't assume that the small guy." You know what bothered me?
Yeah.
How come he can be small and tough,
Right.
but I wasn't allowed to be big and tough?
Yeah. It's funny.
It's
how
the
that
assumption
works.
is like, well, he's smaller. He should be able to just spider monkey all on top of you.
Yeah.
And you're taken down because you're Goliath and he's David. And
Yeah. So I call that the lose-lose situation. You're a bigger guy,
Yeah.
right? If I were to send a smaller guy to Jesus, right right away I'm the bad guy because
Yeah.
oh well look at the size of you, right?
Absolutely.
On the flip side, if the smaller guy sent me to Valhalla, right, I'm like, well, you know, you got knocked out by a small guy, right?
There goes all your street cred.
There it is. It's a lose-lose. The small guy wins.
Yeah. But the thing is, they're the ones that come in. They were always the big problems. We had big. I mean, we're talking like the Green Mile. Like this giant dude came in.
Oh, there always is.
And we were like, all of us standing by each other, were like, yeah, you could take him. He's yours. If he causes a problem, you're the one taking him down.
Yeah, that's all you there, big guy.
They were never a problem.
No,
It's always the small people,
it always is.
and they have a point to prove, a chip on their shoulder.
Every time.
Yeah.
What is a crazy bouncer story that you've had?
That we can tell on episode 2.
Like episode
This
2.
is still new. We don't know if we're gonna get kicked off yet.
Oh, that's freaking fair. Well, okay. You know, like I'll start. Like I'll set the bar.
That's fine.
Okay.
We're bouncers.
We're bound.
The
Oh,
bar.
oh,
See what
hey.
we did there?
Hey, I like that one. Actually,
Listen.
yeah.
Stand-up comedy show coming soon.
So I was at a fairly large bar, and we had like 13 bouncers on staff all times. It was a big place. I think it held like 5,000 patrons.
Wow.
Right,
Okay.
like you know, it was a fairly
decent size.
That's a decent size friggin' bar. I remember this one night we had this guy come in, and he was a fairly big guy. Like, he reminded me of like the farmer boy type,
Yeah.
right?
Like grass-fed.
Oh, like grass-fed throwing hay barrels.
Grass-fed.
Yeah,
Was his name Fred? Because I mean, that
like
would
it
make
might
this
have been
perfect.
Fred. You know, Grass Fred was his name. All right.
He'd always come in after harvest.
Right. Yeah, but he'd
Wheat beers.
there's barley.
Big place, big guy comes in.
Big place, big guy. So big guy comes in. He starts a fight with some other guy, right? So I come in, you know, so I get the small guy away. I toss him aside, you know, for his safety, right? And he throws, and funny enough, farmer, but he throws the biggest haymaker at me,
Right.
right? So
He's a farmer and he threw hay at you? That's rude.
that's what but accurate, right? He throws this biggest haymaker of a punch at me.
Right.
I see it coming a mile away.
Right.
Duck underneath, chop him in the ribs, and then he comes back, and it was like one of those cartoons where he just sledgehammered me on my shoulder.
Oh,
Okay,
right.
my arm drops immediately.
Yeah.
Right, it is dead to me now. It is hanging there like an elephant trunk. I'm flicking it around. It is doing nothing, right? So bouncer 101, I get my back to the walls, right? Like, because I don't want to get from anyone else. So back to the wall, right? And I got my one arm up. Luckily, my buddy Angel, no relation, right? Because of church and
Church and Angel.
yeah. So he comes out of like God knows where.
The heavens above.
Right? He jumps off a table and got him in a chokehold, his feet not touching the ground. Got him in a chokehold, and he starts squeezing him, and he's swinging him around like a cape,
Right.
right? Just swing. So then I seize opportunity. I'm chopping this guy down with my one arm, you know, like I'm cutting down a tree, right? Eventually, we tucker him out.
Right.
He goes to the ground, and three of us dragged him out back. There it is.
Never to be seen again.
Never to be seen again.
I mean, no. He was back next week and everything was completely fine.
Yeah, he apologized and everything was good. Court's still pending.
It's fine when they realize that they just lost their opportunity to come drink at an establishment that they really enjoy. They come back and apologize pretty fast.
It's true. Kool-Aid.
Church.
We now know my story.
Yes.
What's yours, big guy?
So one of my here's the thing. You know what's funny? One question for you as a bouncer.
Yeah.
You ever watch Roadhouse?
I think it's like an
It's a
obligation.
given. Did you ever hear Ron White talk about it?
You know, my favorite line to that is like, I don't know how many bouncers it was going
It
to
was
take to
gonna
get
take,
me
but I don't
out.
know how they're gonna use. I was training one night, and like I said, I used to sit up on a 4-foot tall speaker that sat on the floor. That was my spot. That was Kool-Aid's spot.
That was the Kool-Aid.
So I'd sit there and I would have fun. I would dance, and everybody would be like pulling at my legs. They wanted to come up and dance on the speakers.
Yeah.
I'd have girls come up on the speaker and they want to dance with me and everything.
Yeah, like this possible we can cut to Kool-Aid dancing.
Right here.
That's nice.
I'm probably not going to put it up. So we're training. This kid, he's like,
That's great bouncer stance.
and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, it's not, you don't have to be intimidating, right? Just do your job.
Right.
And he goes, why are you smiling so much?
Because I'm happy.
Because I'm Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
So he's standing there and I reach over to him, like I lean over to him and I'm like, do you have to poop? He's like, what? Do you have to poop? No. Why? I said, well, you look a little constipated. Like, you look like you're a little uptight.
That's fair.
Let yourself go.
Yeah.
Well, I need to make sure people know what, like, I stand on business. And I'm like, cool, you can do that all night long. I said, but when the time comes, you do your job. Other than that, you don't need to look like a jerk.
That's true.
So people wanted to come up and he's like, no, you can't come up. I'm like, this is my space. This is Kool-Aid's. This is Kool-Aid's speaker. You're renting it
You
for a
have
night.
no power here.
So I'm like, come on up. You can dance my side, whatever. He didn't like that.
Right.
So anyway, so he's just scanning the crowd. He's too busy trying to look tough. So
reminds me of like you get like the Terminator, you know, just like the
too much.
scanning. Right.
yeah, absolutely. Which happens. You have to make sure your head's on the swivel.
Sure.
So anyways, this fight breaks out down to the lower bar.
Right.
I'm not waiting for him because that boy needs a couple X-Lax or something. He needs to loosen up a little bit.
100%.
A little more flaxseed in his diet, if you will.
Flaxseed.
So this fight breaks out, and I try to call my guys. They aren't looking. So
Right.
So this thing, when enter the Kool-Aid name, I step off the speaker. Step down to the ground. Well, people see me. They know Kool-Aid's a fun guy
Yeah.
until it's time for me to do my job.
Yeah.
Like the parting of the Red Sea, people go whoop, out of the way. So what happened, and I had to beeline to this fight. What had happened was one dude took a pool cue upside down and cracked it on this guy's head. So I see this. I walk off the speaker, hit the ground, and I run towards him. It's me by myself.
Right.
So I'm like, I need to stop both of them. So I spear them both into the bar.
Nice.
The one guy caught his head between the bar and my shoulder.
Right.
But I had no other choice. Like I had to break up these two. And one of them at this point now has a broken pool cue.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not looking good. So we get down. All of a sudden, the other guys come in. We take the one guy out, come in, and we sit the other guy down because he's bleeding from his head now. And then the other guy comes up. He's like, I didn't even see what happened. I'm like, because you're too busy trying to look big and tough.
Yeah.
And that's not getting you anywhere. I said, people will know that he's like, it was weird. He's like, everybody just moved out of your way. I said, because they know.
Yeah.
I've worked here long enough that I'm a good guy. I'm fun. I enjoy the atmosphere. I enjoy the job.
Yeah.
But when I have to stop something, I'm watching. I'm not scanning, missing things. I'm watching, having fun.
That's true. And people should move out of the way. Like
Don't
a
make it
train
harder
doesn't,
for us.
a train doesn't have to tell you, it's coming for you to get off the tracks.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. And how many trains stop for cows that are just in the way? That is not in reference of anybody dancing on the dance floor currently at that
No.
time. Just so you know.
No, I think you were safe until you said that.
They liked us until then.
You were good until you caveated it.
So we deal with that. And I think you kind of learned at that point, you don't have to be, it's not about being tough. It's about doing your job. Because the way I seen it, I definitely seen it like Patrick Swayze, the cooler. That's who I was. I was a fun guy, but when it came time to do my job, I did my job.
Yeah.
You gotta understand and respect that, like, these people, these patrons are here buying drinks which pay your wage.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
like
be
you're there
respectful
to
until
have
it's time to not be respectful.
Yeah, Roadhouse. Right? Like
I'm getting it tattooed already. Right across my back.
No, like people are there to have a good time, and like also too, and like most people, like bouncers make or break a bar.
Mm-hmm.
if you're too tight, you're gonna suck the fun
Yeah.
out of it.
Which is probably going to cause more fights because people are so
But then,
on edge.
if you're too loose about it, you're gonna get more and more fights, like more problems, right? So it's a fine line. Proper security is key,
Yes.
right? And yeah, like and also too. So just to bring up your point, when you're looking tough, it presents challengers,
They're going to come for you
right?
to prove a point.
And it happens all the time.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. So so I think looking tough and being tough is two separate things. Yeah.
But that's it. That's it. I mean, we have tons of stories. Maybe we make that a segment that we just, always come back to those stories because I do miss it. I miss the atmosphere. I miss bouncing.
Okay. Like yes and no. It's so I did 9 years. I put my 9 years in, which is a big shelf life for a bouncer.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That's
like
true.
I feel like
that's a good stint.
Right. Like I feel like the shelf life of a bouncer is not a big one. Right. And it shouldn't be. That's a long.
That's a good run. That's a good run.
Right. And it's but like the impact it gives not only on your body, but your mental psyche, right? And like telling me is like from bouncing, did you feel that when you went to a restaurant, like you're not on the job?
Oh my God! But
You went to a restaurant,
watching.
right? You're always watching, and did you not have to pick a seat back to the wall?
It's 100%. I don't like sitting with my back to a door or anything like that. I have to sit where I can see everything that's going on.
Yeah, and you have to
It's like your PTSD type of thing.
It is 100% a PTSD. Like I feel like I had to change my whole. I couldn't use public urinals for the longest time.
That makes sense.
Because it's like, and so I would often have to put my hand on the wall as I peed so I wouldn't get my head smashed in.
It stays with you, and you're constantly watching. We'll go to fairs, carnivals, stuff like that, and I'm always scanning crowds because I mean, let's face it, we're big fellas,
right?
And I think at any point that I can potentially help somebody out in the public or stop a confrontation or a fight from happening, it's kind of an unwritten duty to go in and stop that because of the experience.
Yeah, no, like absolutely. Like you learn, like I don't want to use the word trade, but like you learn a skill, I guess.
Yeah.
Like you learn a skill.
De-escalation.
Yeah, to adapt, to react.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So like we did this thing like at our bar. So it's loud music, lots of people. We all had flashlights, just little pocket flashlights.
Gotcha.
Which is how we communicated.
Yep.
You with each other. You hand someone a flash, which means that you were leaving your post.
Yep.
Right. Like you gave someone a flicker. There's usually a fight. Watch me. Right. Like these were like hand signals and lights and all that. I remember one time at a Walmart, someone was just purchasing a flashlight and they flick it on. I saw the light
and you come flying
and I ran. I ran to it, right? Like an idiot, right? And
that's amazing.
I show up to the guy. I'm like, "What's the problem?" Like, where? Right?
I don't know. There's not enough D cells around for this battery.
It's like, what's the issue? Probably wondering why I gathered you here today. I'm just right. This. Oh man,
that's amazing.
It took me years to like deconstruct.
It's still there though, isn't it?
It is. So it brings us.
It doesn't bring us anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, let's automatically just go to the third topic we had because there's no way to come into it.
Time is of an essence,
You know what's really interesting?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me what's really interesting?
Oh, right. Segues. Right. We're gonna. The Mandela effect. Mandela effect refers to a large group of people remembering something differently than how it actually happened. It was named after people falsely remembering Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s, even though he was released and later became president of South Africa. I did not know the origin story on that. So I'm actually glad I friggin' read that, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Right? So,
We fact check here.
right? I no, like, honestly, like, I feel like I read certain things and I'm, yeah, it's good enough for me. And I half bake myself through a conversation. I'll do it.
I'm still at a point in my life where if I don't know, I have no problem admitting that.
Oh,
But if I do know,
yeah.
I will tell you time and time again. I'm like, no, I know what I'm talking about, because I do not make bets that I won't win. When it comes to something like that, I will be, if I'm informative of something and I know it, absolutely I'll stand by it. And 98% of the time, I'm going to be right with it.
Yes.
But if I don't know, I don't want to say, if I don't know what a butterfly is, I'm not going to say I know what a butterfly is, because I'm going to look like an idiot somewhere down the road when they're like, when one lands on my nose and I'm like, oh, what is this thing?
Yeah.
What's a butterfly? But you already knew that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have no problem. What is it say? I'd rather, what is the term? I'd rather look like an idiot for not knowing what something is than look like an idiot for pretending that I do what it was.
Words to live by, I think. Mandela effects. So we have some popular ones here.
We'd also like to hear yours in the comments. Give us one. And we'll check them out.
Like, I would love that. Like, you are writing in the comments just Mandela effects or things that you think are weird. I love that. Right. So let's give her first thing, and everyone knows about this one. Berenstain Bears versus Berenstain Bears.
The Berenstain Bears.
Right. So the only difference within this is whether it was spelt with an E or spelt with an A.
Berenstain Bears.
Berenstain, yeah.
I'd say it's an E.
Okay, so according to the Mandela, like, it's an A. No. Yes, series of Berenstain series with an E, but it's actually with the A.
No. Berenstain Bears versus Berenstain Bears.
Yeah. I don't make the rules.
I've read this Mandela effect. I still don't believe it.
I don't make the rules.
I knew that this was out there.
Yeah, this is a thing.
And I still told myself it was an E.
I even said Berenstain.
Berenstain Bears.
Yeah.
Berenstain Bears. Do you say it? Berenstain Bears.
That's what I'm saying. You know, like, I'm still... okay, so, like, I don't believe I actually read these. I've actually read these books. Remember, like, the doctor's office as a kid?
Yeah.
Like, they were floating around.
We read Reader's Digest.
No, excuse me.
No, we didn't buy them. We read them from the doctor's office and took them home. Berenstain Bears.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this one's my favorite. The Fruit of the Loom logo. There was a cornucopia.
You believe there was?
There 100%.
I would say
there was the corn
not
on the copias.
No, that's Thanksgiving. That's not, just because it's a basket of fruit doesn't mean that basket was there. The basket is the underwear that holds the fruit.
Of the looms.
Of the loins. It's the fruit of the loins. Is it fruit of the loom or fruit of the loins?
Of the looms. All right, of the loins. I like them both. Monopoly Man. Monocle.
No.
No to the monocle.
No monocle.
So I saw a video recently. Guy purchased an old 1990s Monopoly board, right? Monopoly game. On the $2 bill, he has a monocle.
Sir, is the effect that... Does he have one or no?
So effect is he does not have a monocle. But everyone remembers him having the monocle.
So we had... Quick little thing here. We had a conversation before about these things, and I think we actually found that I believe the right ones. Like, I didn't fall under the category of the wrong thing people were seeing.
Right.
Wasn't that true?
Right. So, like, for some reason, every Mandela effect works on me. So I'm like, no, it's this. Right. But I was like, no,
They didn't work on me so much.
No.
There are some that do catch me, though, for sure.
I think if the Mandela effect does work on you, like, you're like, no, like, you're against the effect.
Yeah.
Right. I feel as you are an NPC. But like, I'm gonna, like, quickly resolve over to Matrix. the Matrix movies, okay?
Right.
For those who don't know, the whole idea is that we're in a simulation. Why we're in a simulation? According to the Matrix, more like we're like the batteries for the machine. Like we just fuel machines, so we keep our minds active and all that. It just makes a better battery kind of thing. But do you think we are currently in a simulation? Like you look around, you're like, yeah, all this is fake.
No. Do I think there's things that are put in place to dictate an outcome?
Okay.
Yes. So, say for instance, you wanted to play baseball, but the community you were in hated all the loud noises. So like, no, you guys can play baseball, but you can play it. We've made a ball diamond for you right here, not knowing it was directly across the street from a glass factory. So knowing very well that as soon as you started playing, you were going to hit and break all the glass in that glass factory, knowing very well that they were going to cancel baseball and you were never allowed to play it again. I think people are put in situations or things are dictated in a way where it can manipulate what goes on in the world around us. So do I think it's fake? No. Do I think people utilize their knowledge, their money, their amount of pettiness,
Right.
to create fake scenarios?
Right.
Yes.
So for your example, like, is the glass factory made of glass? Is that what's happening? Or is it just like,
So
like,
I
is it
wouldn't
just a
count
glass building?
I wouldn't count it out. A greenhouse is made of glass, so why could a glass factory not be made of glass?
Because it's a greenhouse.
But I think, which is really funny for clear windows.
Right.
It's not green at all.
I think it's like referring to like the energy in which. So like the greenhouse effect versus sunlight being able to travel through, yet not escape. So that's the effect, which they also refer to in our ozone as we have.
Hold on.
Yeah,
You think that's what a greenhouse is?
that's exactly what a greenhouse
That it can
is.
come in, but it can't. Do you think it can't escape because it's already just been taken in by the plants and everything around it?
No, I think it's just like material in which it's made, right? It just allows light and heat in, but it cannot escape.
Does it not?
Yeah. Like I'm pretty sure
Why
that's what a greenhouse is.
Okay, but hold on. You have a pane of glass,
Right.
and I don't think it's any special thing. Fun fact: I used to live on a farm,
Right.
not with Fred, but we used to live on a farm, and we
Right.
had 2 greenhouses in our
Okay.
backyard.
And they were always hot as balls.
Yeah, but it's only glass. So the energy coming through, the sun coming through at some point, it's still going to bounce off and leave other panes of glass. Like it's not in there 100%.
Right.
I know it does induct.
Sure.
What is it when it takes it in?
Yeah, like induction.
Okay. I know it does that. But it can't stay in there 100%.
Well, no, I guess, but it's also, like, does your car on a hot day experience the greenhouse effect, or is it just because it's made of metal? It just holds the heat.
Well, it holds it, but who's to say that some of it isn't still getting back out?
Right. No, I don't think a greenhouse is like perfect, where it like, it just stops everything from leaving. But I think a large majority gets soaked through and then just
fair.
it just kind of chills there, right?
I'm just thinking about the fact that we've completely left Mandela effects in the
Mandelas.
See, so we had to talk about this, and
Yeah.
this is where we're going to get better for you guys. we hope you guys are enjoying it. We have heard some feedback. We would love to hear if you have negative feedback. Be careful. No, we absolutely love it. And while you're looking up a couple more there, I want to just say our first episode, great views so far for just starting.
Not bad.
Within 24 hours. We're getting comments. We're getting engagement. You guys are liking it. All
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
I was stoked.
So thank you.
Yeah. Mandela effects. So it doesn't have to also go with like pop culture and logos.
Okay.
Apparently, they can be found in movies and TVs as well. I want to give you this one, but I know that you're not a fan of what's happening here. Luke, I am your father.
Oh, I thought you were going for Luke and Bo Duke.
No, Darth Vader actually says, no, I am your father. Doesn't mention his name. Which brings me to my next question. How much of a Star Wars fan are you, my friend?
Star Wars, I will never, ever, ever. I will never watch a single Star Wars ever.
Oh,
And I don't care who knows. I will never watch a single Star Wars episode ever.
who, and I say this with kindness and love, who hurt you, Kool-Aid?
You know what? You know what hurts me? Horrible effects. Bad storylines.
Right.
Visual effects that don't make sense at all. That's what hurts me. Which is why I will never watch it. But fun fact, I do have to know that the Mandela effect thing is that he does not say, Luke, I am your father. He just says, I am your father.
Oh, so you watched like the 10 seconds there just to debunk?
No, just to the Mandela effects. And then I had to go look for it. And they do show clips. You know what I did watch though? Hold on, does Spaceballs count?
No.
Then I will never watch a single episode
You can't
movie of Star Wars
You
ever.
can't watch.
I'll tell you
have
what.
to know
I'll tell
Star
you-
Wars to make Spaceballs funnier.
No. I just know that they're mocking it, which is good enough for me.
No.
I'll tell you what. Once we get to... No, I'm not even going to do that. I'm not even going to do... I was going to say, once we get to 1,000 subscribers, I will watch every Star Wars movie. But I don't think I can do that.
What, at once?
Yeah.
Like in
I
one
will, I
go?
will binge the whole thing.
There's like 9 of them. Here's a lot.
So we missed a couple episodes of this, but just know we're at home watching this.
Okay, like we'll put you onto the first 6, because that's the better.
This is French to me.
Oh.
I've also never seen Lord of the Rings. I've never seen a single Harry Potter. I've never seen a single Indiana Jones movie. I've never watched Clockwork Orange. I've never seen Pulp Fiction.
I've never seen Pulp Fiction.
No. I know about the one part in Pulp Fiction. That makes me weird.
Like, I feel as if you have to watch these movies to understand references and or jokes that kind of happen.
Sorry, side. I despise when people use references to movies and music that they don't know anything about. That bothers me.
Example.
If you've never seen it, oh God, that's on. Listen, pause. I don't actually know any right now. We'll skip that part.
Okay. Here's one which
Get out there next
I actually didn't know, and now that I'm reading this, it bothers me. Okay. Your heart placement. Where's your heart located?
Center your chest.
Center.
Well, it's centered left. It's not left. Center left. Right here. We're good old Jack.
I always thought it was right here. Like you're hitting the
You
left.
thought it was over here?
I thought right on the
No.
right on the pectoral.
No.
Yes. So some people being taught the heart is on the left was actually dead center, slightly tilted.
To
No,
The
just
left.
tilted. Slightly tilted.
no, like to the left.
To the left, to the left. No, like it doesn't say. Just like a slightly tilted. Like I think kind of like off
Wait,
center.
and you mean it's not shaped like this?
What?
Your heart's not shaped like this?
Of course it's shaped like that.
No, it's really not.
You never seen The Grinch? Grew 3 sizes that day.
Yeah, but that's not a real story.
What?
That's not real.
You telling me that there wasn't a
There
place
was no Grinch.
like Whoville?
There was not.
It wasn't odd.
Do you really think that
A snowflake?
do you really think a dog could pull that many presents on a sled?
He was a strong dog.
They're lying to you.
He ate his Wheaties. You have positive feedback. Like you have positive feedback. that's great. You know, if you have negative feedback, keep it to yourself.
That's
But,
right. We don't want to hear that.
The main distraction, tune in for the ride. Talking about nothing yet so bona fide.